We recap every week the highlights of the Twitter chat so that you don't miss anything. And today we were hoping to wire Joyce in from Maui, but something's happening to her computer. So if we can get her in the next few minutes, we will wire her in. Otherwise, I apologize. All you got is me. And so we're going to still give away an HTC One as a prize, and it's a great new phone. Whoever wins it is going to be super happy. And also, we will be picking the winner for that based on your questions and your interaction. Misty's going to pick that for us. So feel free. What I wanted to recap from Joyce's advice that I garnered is that the health journey is a pretty complete process. We have to look at it from all aspects, not just what we eat and the exercise that we take on, but also how we think, the time we take to sleep, to relax, to think positively, to have good friends, and so I always love the advice that Joyce provides because it's again just very comprehensive and very holistic. Surround yourself with people that are positive, that are going to invigorate you, that are going to energize you, that are going to lift you up, and stop following the rants of the people that are not in that space because it's very contagious, right? Positive thinking is contagious as is negative thinking. So thank you so much, Joyce, for trying to wire in from Maui. I know Google Hangout technology is still in the developing stages, so we're breaking ground here with Marty and Misty McPadden on producing these after the chats, just to give you a recap. I did want to point out to just all of you in summary that many of the accessories that are listed on the Insider's Guide, on the Verizon Insider's Guide, have specials regularly. So, for example, there's a Fitbit special this week, and so you can actually look and see when there are discounted accessories. But one of my big recommendations to you would be to really think about where you need help. Joyce pointed out that having a device that reminds you that you haven't gotten up from your desk is a really useful device because, it kind of reminds you that, right? Sometimes we sit on our desk forever and we forget to get up and walk around. And also the idea that when you have your jawbone or your fitness or your activity tracker right in your hand, again, you look at it and you realize, when is the last time I got up and how many steps have I taken today? So it's great for accountability. So technology has come a long way in allowing us also to monitor our health. We're going to post a blog to summarize all of the health apps that Robin recommended and the team recommended, including monitoring for special disease, monitoring for things like heart rate, your lung function. You can monitor your diabetes. So really for all, even chronic diseases now, you can have a lot of tools right on your smartphone to help you keep in check and know when to contact your doctor. None of these, of course, replace the advice of a physician, but they're really useful in helping you monitor and just at least know some of the first signs when you're not feeling okay, particularly if you suffer from any of those chronic illnesses. Here's what the Jawbone Up looks like. This is a very simple, easy to use activity tracker. You just put it in your hand like this. This version works on the iPhone, and many of the others work on all other devices. You simply plug it in to where you plug in your headset, and the app reads you the calories that you've burnt. It reads the steps that you've taken, and it also, can allow you to have a group, so you can have a little competition with the guys in the office or some friends from school, whatever, on how many steps you have taken that day. But you can also see how many steps the others have. This one is a Bluetooth, and so you don't need to plug it in. And this one you have to plug it in, but it's really useful and kind of nice looking also to wear. Many of the devices, as I said too, have the ability to track your steps. This one in particular comes with the Samsung, and this app is great. If you hold your phone, it'll track the steps that you're taking. It also works as a heart rate monitor. And last but okay, I think Joyce managed to sneak in there. Are you there, girl?
Can you see me, or can you see me now? No.
No, that's okay. We're gonna just keep going. Don't worry about it. We're all just summarizing your. Oh, there you are. Hey, good.
Am I here?
Yes, we can see you.
Yay! Okay, let me position myself better. Can you see the sweat rolling down my brow?
Yeah, that was a good workout, right? Trying to just getting in the.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, much better. Thank you. I was just really summarizing some of the things you mentioned on the chat. One of the questions that I had that I think is super useful is the apps that you've recommended in the past. I forget the names, but if you can remind us, that app you recommended for when you're starting out a diet or you want to get on that path. What was that? There was a couple of you.
Fujicate. That was Fujicate. That's one of my favorites because I like that you can take your kids to the grocery store and they like using it. But I think any of those apps that can scan. I think that what is the name of it? There's My Daily Burn might have that same capacity now, right? Mm-hmm. And they scan labels because labels are so important. I think we just read the front and it says natural or something like that, or no, high fructose corn sweetener, and we think, oh, that's good, and that's not necessarily. So I think if you can scan labels and start seeing the patterns of what's healthy food, because I think food marketers, of course, set it up a certain way for us to buy things and be tricked by color. Oh, it's green, it must be a healthy food, or. So I love Fujicate for that because it kind of helps you overcome the food packaging.
And I love the idea that you just mentioned to, use it with the kids to get them on that journey, right? To think about those things as well. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love that part because my kids were always, and sometimes I would buy things. I had bought things in the past, and before I used Fujicate, and I would scan it later, and we're like, oh my gosh, this whole time that was not the healthiest choice. Mm-hmm. But we thought it was just by what we read on the the top of the package. So I love apps that can kind of give you the inside scoop, tell you servings, and because servings are another thing that we have to watch for, because if you drink a drink, it's say 16 ounces, a lot of times it's divided into servings, right? So it's like 27 grams of sugar in one serving, and there's 2 servings. That's a huge amount of sugar. Yeah. And most people drink the whole thing, So I think it's really important to use that like as a first line of defense.
It's a good point. And just to, even to back up a bit, how difficult sugar is to process for the body, how many negative effects it has on joints, on sleep. Sugar really is one of those things that if you can cut out corn syrup, some of those, obviously, to the best of your ability, is really a great start, right? Soda, those kinds of things.
If the one thing I would tell people to give up, because I always think of trying to add things that are healthy, right? So we use all this new tech, and we have all these ways to work out and be accountable and everything. So we have those things to add, but if the one thing to take away, and we never like to talk about the takeaway part, is sugar. If the one thing that you ever did in your diet was just focus on that one thing and just started reading labels and seeing where all that hidden sugar is, like sugars in bread, right? So, start reading all that, and you just started cutting that down and trying to limit yourself to not many grams of sugar in one sitting. A lot of people say, a lot of experts say like 5, no more than 5 grams. Then it would solve a huge part of the problem. And weight problem too. For a lot of people, that's all it takes to lose weight. Just that, because they didn't know where it was. They didn't know it was hidden all those places. And so, but the only good thing about sugar is that we like the way it tastes. But there's no other positive thing about sugar, other than it tastes good. So.
Yeah, this is true. Quite a few people are just asking us to get you to give us your favorite fitness apps. What are some of those apps you might use to be like motivate you or?
Right. I think I like my Daily Burn. That's like my new favorite. And I think any of those ones, they're always changing them. So the ones that you use now might be upgraded. So if you find a favorite, like for me, that's been my favorite. I also love the Up Band, and I want to try the Fitbit. That's my next thing I want to try. But the reason I like something like the Up Band and the app that goes with it is because you're always accountable, and it considers your sleep, and I think that's really important because it's not always just about calories, because it's quality of food too. So it's not just always about calories. We tend to think of it as, oh, I just have to exercise and count my calories, and that's in the short term, that's important. But in a healthy lifestyle, it has to be the whole thing, the whole package. The sleep, the healthy food, the quality of your food, the quality of your exercise. So I like my Daily Burn. I like the apps that go with the fitness trackers, like the Up Band and Fitbit, and the Fujicate type of apps. And like I said, they're always coming out new ones. So I try to do different ones. But that's my favorite one right now, is probably the Up one and my Daily Burn.
The Daily Burn. That's that sounds great. You were mentioning something like the high or the HIIT impact training. Is that?
Yes, I'm a big fan of. I know there's some formulas to all that, and if you like doing that, I think that's great. But I'm into any time that you can have an intense workout. It's better, from my experience, and it's been like over 30 years, which is a really long time, and I have found for myself that I've made the most progress and became the most fit when I would do bursts of intense exercise. There's always the rest and recovery, and that's a whole other part, but when I did things that were just kind of like, walking is great, nothing wrong with, get your steps in, but if you can find a way to do short, intense workouts, and you pair that with a healthy diet, that's when I noticed significant difference and significant change in my energy levels. But again, it's all together, because you could be doing HIIT workouts, which are awesome, but if you're eating crappy food, right? So the HIIT workout isn't the answer, and that each one, they have to go together. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And so if you like HIIT workouts and they work for you, if that's what you feel like, oh, I love doing those. So I love doing CrossFit. I love doing Zumba. Whatever you love to do, that's what you should do. Whatever you do all the time, that's what you should do.
Yeah. I tend to like certain things. I loved Soul Cycle. I got really into Soul Cycle. I was doing 3 Soul Cycles a week.
Really? Oh, cool.
And that's also, because I think it's a combination of things. But I like one thing you point out, which I think is important to reiterate, is that the health journey is not just, obviously about feeling good, looking good, but it's also about the energy levels. I do see that, once I'm lax with my diet or exercise, that I kind of lose. It's like self-fulfilling, right? You lose energy, and then it's harder to get motivated and to actually get on, with the work that you want to do. So.
Right. And well, you know what happens? I think we get in a pattern of, and a friend and I were talking about this yesterday, and he's into health and fitness. He's a professional athlete. We were talking about that people go through a pattern where we don't feel good, and then we read about what to do about it. So maybe we start juicing, and we're working out, and we're eating better, and so we feel good. And then once we feel good, we kind of go back to what we were doing that made us not feel good. And so we get into this cycle of sick, fix it, feel good for a while, go back to what we were doing, sick, fix it, and we do that. And so what we need to do is, is get sick of that cycle and stay in the feel good part. And really, it's small changes. It's not, I think a lot of people believe they have to and maybe there are some significant changes people need to make, some people need to make, but a lot of times it's little things.
Yeah.
You know, again, cutting out the sugar, or drinking more water, or today getting in more steps than you did, or, you know, getting another hour's sleep. So all those things added together make the difference, and those things done daily and weekly and over time, you know, that's what eventually you get to a point where you go, wow, I'm healthy now. And then you don't want to go back. You know, eventually, hopefully, you've done it long enough that it's sticking, and you don't want to go back. But if we get into that cycle of fixing, trying to do a quick fix, that's where we get in trouble.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I do remember not too long ago, a group of people gave up sugar that were suffering from you know, a lot of joint pain.
Right.
And they started to drink more water and just gave up sugar altogether, which was not easy, but their pain went away. So it was kind of amazing to see. Not too long after, within a few days, they started to, you know, feel a lot less pain. So it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, obviously uncontrolled. I'm not quoting any research.
Right. No, of course not. You know, it's really a personal experience because, you know, certain things work better for other people. Some people, you know, they can eat a little bit of sugar and they can be okay with it. Some people, they eat a little bit of sugar and it really does a number on them. So I think it's really an individual thing. You know, you always have to check with your doctor. You know, we know that, right? That's the medical part of it, that we have to be safe. But as far as like your personal journey, it has to be what works for you, you know, and it's okay to take bits and pieces and find what helps you stick with it. And I think that the sugar thing, again, you know, I can't imagine going to any doctor and him saying, eat sugar, you know, so that's never going to happen. So it's okay to say we can cut out sugar, because we all know that we'll never completely cut out sugar, most of us. I mean, it's just there in everything. So, and you know, and it's okay to have a cupcake once in a while. It's okay to do those things, you know, and in moderation.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I wanted to show you the little thing that I do to stay fit as I sit in front of a computer.
Okay.
I sit on this ball.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
It's so every so often you'll see me bouncing, you know.
You're bouncing.
But what it does,
I'm excited about what I was saying.
Yeah, it really helps you if you're gonna sit somewhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Sitting on the ball makes you sit up straight and also keeps your abs engaged. And
Yes.
it's even that little thing that really is super. It's a small change, but it really helps.
Right.
You know,
And then you combine that with your glass of water and, you know, your quick snack of veggies that you made up, and, you know, and that's how easy it is. And it feels so good when you do it. You know, it's funny how we are emotionally connected with food, and then we use food to connect to each other, right? We sit at a table, we enjoy a meal together, and that's awesome. But I think that when we start using it to self-soothe and to try to fix something, that's where we get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But we all, you know, in the middle of the night, right, you get up and get hungry, so the only defense that you can have is to try to keep it out of your hand's reach, right? If your house, so if you get up in the middle of the night and you don't have any cupcakes and all you have is carrot sticks, well, if you're hungry enough, you're going to eat the carrot sticks, or you're going to go back to bed. So, you know, you have to kind of like set up your whole home as kind of, you know, the no junk zone, so you don't kind of reach for it, because we tend to do that, right? You're going to reach for whatever's easiest. You're not going to go in there and probably make a salad at midnight, but you know, maybe, but you know, you're going to go in there and grab something quick, right? So
yeah, and so that's the other thing when you're running around. You know, it's good to sort of plan. It's another way smartphones help, right? You can do a list and start planning out healthy meals. You know, now instead of grabbing for peanut butter, although I love peanut butter, I reach out for hummus. And so I know that there's hummus in the refrigerator, which I can reach out to just as easily as I used to reach out to peanut butter. So one other thing that I found was really useful, just to, you know, sort of help with the recap really, was if you're sitting down with your portion and you're eating, and you get up and you walk around, you know, you go get something or you do something, and then you come back to your plate,
right.
9 times out of 10, you don't finish the portion because you give time for your stomach to message your brain.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Your stomach, right? You get ahead of yourself because you shovel it in, right? We do that sometimes when we're in a hurry and we shovel it in, or maybe we're really hungry. So we're like, we eat it really fast. And then we ate all these calories, and we ate all this fat and all these salt and all this sugar, and then your brain, that's when you sit there and you go, oh, I feel so bad, right? Because now it caught up. Now you caught up. And so I think taking it slow and maybe, it's funny how, most of us grow up with, we pile stuff on our plates and we're taught to finish it all, right? That's how it is.
Yeah, what?
Right, so now it's like make your portions smaller. Get a smaller plate so what you pile on it looks like more. Instead of a plate with less stuff, right? You can do little things like that. But what's important, I think an important thing too is somebody said something in the chat, and I can't remember who, which account it was, but I thought it was really great, that they talked about that they have a certain portion a day to work out, but they don't kind of use it. And I think what happens is that we don't think of it as that important, and we need to make like an appointment with ourselves. We need to set it on our, like tech, right? Set it on our phone, like if you had a dentist appointment, right? You have that little notification come up and say, oh, I have a dentist appointment at 3. We should have an appointment with ourselves and stick to it and treat it as such. So like in other words, if you were at the dentist and you couldn't answer the phone, then don't answer the phone at your appointment with yourself, right? Become unavailable at that time, just like if you were at the dentist. And so I think that really helps too. And then it becomes a habit because then you can repeat it every day, if that's a good time for you. So we often leave ourselves last. We don't make those appointments. We do all the other ones, but we're like, oh, okay, my whole day is eaten up, and now I don't have time to exercise. And it should have been scheduled in there with everything,
Yeah, not so true. It's it's really a way of thinking, and once you think about it, you'll start making those behavioral changes and really use technology as an aid. But it's going to start with the mindset, and we all know, as you said at the beginning of the chat, what is the one thing you want to make a change of? What is yours, Joyce?
I am not the best drinker of water. I'm really not. I have to I started doing this, putting lemon in it or whatever. I struggle at times to drink water. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of the way it tastes a lot of times. So that's always been one of my struggles. So now what I do is I fill up, a big jug or whatever, and I put lemon in it, which is supposed to be really good for you. So, I'll do something like that, or maybe put a touch of fruit juice, like literally just a splash, but it's enough, to taste good. So that's probably mine.
That's yours, drinking water. I know that every year I've asked you to please dig up that awesome blog post that you did once on the benefits of drinking water. I'll never forget that. It said, you drink water before bedtime, you reduce the chances of heart disease by something like 30%.
Crazy?
I don't quote me on the exact percentage, but it's quite striking how important it is to drink it throughout the day, and certainly before you go to bed. So
how small is that, right? How small of it? That's just such a small change. 1 glass of water.
Yep.
Right? Change life. 1 glass of water. I mean, that's just that blows my mind. And I don't know where we got the message that getting healthy was going to be so hard and such a drag.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's really small changes, and if we focus just on small things.
That's all. That's really all it comes to.
Yep.
So, Joyce, I really want to thank you for making such an effort to join us all the way from Maui, your hometown.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's wonderful to smell the Maui air.
It is. It's good to be here.
So we can't wait to see what you do with that GoPro and a couple other things that you're playing around with. I'm looking forward to that. And for now, we're going to announce the winner. Today's winner is getting this amazing HTC One. It's the M8, the latest device of HTC. And today's recap winner is, we have it here, is a mom of 2 beauties. Her name is Stephanie B. Congratulations.
Oh, I love that name. I love her account name.
Yeah, a mom of 2 beauties?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because you're also a mom of 2 beauties, right?
I am.
Mine would be a mom of 1 beauty.
You're a mom of 1 beauty.
But anyway, so congratulations. We just posted that. And feel free to DM your shipping information to Misty so that we have it and we can ship it right out. This is actually your device, so it's going to be going out. Actually, we're going to put it in a post, in a FedEx post tomorrow. So, again, thank you so much, Joyce. Thanks to Marty and Misty. Sorry about the technical delays.
Sorry, couldn't get on.
Oh, look, and Robin, bless her, she found your blog on the benefits of drinking water. So,
oh, yay! She's awesome.
She's just posted it. Thanks so much, Robin and Paul and Jean and all of you for joining us today. And we'll see you next week. We're going to talk about how to choose a smartphone. And don't forget to, if you want to apply for a phone makeover, follow the link that Misty posted to apply. We're going to give anyone who wants one a phone makeover, a smartphone makeover. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Aloha.
Aloha.